Hey guys, Dave with Moneyology here. Hope everyone is having a great day. Today's December 11th, 2019, and this is a rare earth watch list. We're going to take a look at the rare earth sector and identify some opportunities in a sector that we believe is very close to an upside breakout. We had some names today that really popped based on the news that the Trump administration was going to have the U.S. Army, I don't know all the details, but make accommodative policies towards the rare earth sector. So some names popped. We covered one in the uranium premium review on a Sunday, and we said that there was something brewing in that particular chart. And sure enough, today it was up close to 94%. So we'll cover that. And just a general theme that I'm seeing right now is a lot of these commodities are really starting to break out from multi-year downtrend. So a lot of great opportunities. Let's look through some of them right now. All right, so starting with the REMX ETF, this is the Rare Earth Strategic Metals ETF, and this and all these videos are from a weekly perspective. So starting with this weekly perspective, you see this is a descending triangle right now, consolidating right above that $12 range and right below 13. So, but despite this consolidation between 12 and 13, where its price seemingly hasn't moved since July, what we're seeing here, though, is momentum has really moved to the upside, right? So that's a very, very strong positive divergence and along the line of this descending trend line. So what do we see? We see that finally momentum has started peaking above that momentum downtrend. That pretends that there's going to be a breakout to the upside relatively soon. You see PPO is well above zero. If you look at it from a daily perspective, and why don't we do that just to give us some better, different angles at this. So daily perspective, we are above the 50 RSI level, which is already bullish, and we're consolidating, and looks like we're above the 13 and 26 day moving average in this case, and looks like we're headed towards that 1317 area at a minimum. I think ultimately we're going to head towards 1375 before this particular leg of the rally is over. But if you take a step back and look at it from a monthly perspective, you'll see why I'm very bullish on this particular sector. In 2016, it rallied from 939 to 2950 in 2 years. So we've been in a 2-year downtrend, and it looks like things are starting to pick up again. PPO is starting to move in the positive direction. We're finding support at previous support levels, so that's a positive sign. And so when you look at it from a weekly perspective, again, just going back, you see why that there are enough signs right now that suggest that this breakout is imminent. Now, I'm not buying this breakout because it hasn't happened yet. I want to see this particular trend line be broken to the upside. But when it does, I think this move towards 18 can happen relatively quickly. So just pointing that out there. All right, so let's go through the names in the watch list. API Energy, this is a uranium rare earth play, and you see we've got this downtrend, and every time we seem to be hitting it of late, we're falling back. But a breakout above this level could result in a very nice price move to the upside. For me to get comfortable, I want to see this above the 18, which is that 13 EMA. Avalon Advanced Minerals, this one's consolidating here between 5 and 6 cents. It's really not doing much of anything right now, but it's building positive momentum right here. There's a positive divergence, and if this can break above 6 cents, 6.5 cents, this can make a sharp run, very quick run, similar to what happened back in May, where it went from 5 cents all the way to 17 cents. So keep an eye on this one. If the sector breaks out, this one can really rally. Commerce Resources, not looking so hot. I mean, that's just the reality. There is some positive that you've got positive divergence. We haven't really made a new low since 25 versus 14 here on RSI, but we're still in negative, very, very oversold territory below 30, which means that this is not a good area to own this particular company. Defense Metals. Defense Metals is starting to create higher highs and higher lows, which is positive. Back tested the 38 level after testing that 50 initially. And it looks to me like it's setting up for a breakout. But for me, I'd like to see a break above 14 here before I can say that this is truly in breakout mode. Fortune Minerals, this one is consolidating right now, but it's got positive divergence. We've got a double bottom here, but notice momentum is much higher today than it was when we hit 6.5 cents before. So we've got this descending triangle and it's consolidating right below the 13.26 EMAs around 9 cents. And also having back tested that 38 level so far successfully. So if this downtrend breaks, this can make a very strong move, but I'm not seeing it yet, but watching it closely. Greenland Minerals and Energy, this is one we pointed out in various uranium reviews because it's got some uranium properties. This one has broken out, and we were calling this breakout right around here when we were breaking this trend line and breaking above the upward sloping moving averages. And sure enough, we broke it. And so far this week, we've had a follow through. So this one hasn't really taken off all that much, which is great. I would be looking to add to this position at these prices. And if it does pull back, great. You got another opportunity to buy on a pullback. But I think ultimately we're headed towards 11.5 cents and even as high as 15.5 before this particular leg of the rally is over. Notice PPO and how it's where it's headed. Geo Mega Resources. So this one's kind of quietly consolidating here, also in a descending triangle above the 50 RSI level. So this too can take off just alongside the sector. You notice PPO is looking really good. First price target around 20 cents. Leading Edge Materials Corp. This one's just consolidating here between 5.5 and 8 cents, but it's creating some positive divergence. And when I see such consolidations as we see here, I want to look at it from a daily perspective. See if we can find some positive divergences in this consolidation. So, and sure enough, what do we see here? We've got this positive consolidation, or rather consolidation from mid-October all the way to mid-December. But notice momentum. Momentum is consistently moved higher as it's consolidating. So at some point, this is going to pop. And what better time than now to do so given the overall strength of the sector. So keep an eye on this one because the move can be explosive. You saw what happened. It moved from 10 cents to 40 cents in just a couple of weeks. So that sort of move can happen again without knowing anything about the fundamentals of this company. This is just a good looking explosive kind of chart. Canada Rare Earth Corp, LL.V. This not seeing much here at all, frankly. It's below the 38 level. And though it's rallied here, kind of a hammer so far this week, I'm not seeing anything that's bullish at all. Linus Corp. This one has a very nice descending triangle and a very nice descending momentum trend line. So if this breaks to the upside and looks like it's very close to doing so, I want to see this break above that 26 EMA around 166. And this can make a very sharp run towards 2.05, possibly as high as 2.33 in this particular run. Medallion Resources, another one that's starting to perk up. You've got higher highs and higher lows in momentum. Looks like he wants to break above that 26 EMA around 11 cents. There's really not much in terms of resistance before you really get to that 24 level. So this one's on the verge of a breakout, right below 50 on the RSI level. I think that this is going to pop any day, possibly tomorrow if the sector has some follow through. Nyway Metals. This is a very good looking chart right now after a multi-year consolidation between 17 and 2017, and here we are at 2020, and we finally broke out above that 35 level, and now it's moved from a low of 15 cents to high 53 cents. Had a really nice overbought momentum, and now we back tested the 50 level, which is great and healthy, and we found support back at that initial breakout level around 37, and now we're starting to move again. So I think a retest towards 53 cents is very likely, and what excites me is the opportunity from here to here, because I think that this is very well going to eventually make a run towards that 125 area. Corp Developments, another beautiful I wonder what NIO is, but if that's a metal, that's certainly a metal to invest in, I guess. Corp Developments broke out here back in October and really hasn't looked back. I mean, broke out at 55, Now it's at 81, hit a high of 94, and I think it's going to get back here to 94, and then eventually all the way to 155. So this is probably the best looking chart of this watch list so far, and we'll show you some others. Rare Element Resources had a move of 28% so far this week, and this is a upside multi-top breakout above 50 cents. And this one does not look like it's going to be slowing down anytime soon. I can see this make a move towards 105, if not higher. When moves like this happen, I step back even beyond the weekly and I say, okay, well, what's the monthly doing? So let's have a look. Monthly has looked, first of all, incredibly well. Second of all, I want to point out, look at what happened back in 2010. Moved from 115 to 1792 in a matter of a couple of months. Well, we've been consolidating here, absolutely doing nothing for better part of 3 years, kind of 5 years actually. Rounded bottom, and we're close to that breakout. Momentum has already broken out, right? When you're hitting new highs on MACDs, when you're hitting new highs in RSI, that interests me. And so this particular company, in my opinion, is a must buy. Sure, it might pull back here. So do you want to chase? Well, not with your full position, but I would consider picking up shares here. And if it rallies and leaves you behind, okay, so you picked up some position of a very strongly rallying company. If it pulls back, great, you have an opportunity to add lower. But bottom line is you take a look at that monthly chart and it looks spectacular. Search Minerals, this one's consolidating. It's not going to tell me anything unless it breaks 5 cents to the upside. Okay, so this is the story of the day. Texas Mineral Resources up 73% on the week, up 90, close to 90%. Well, actually, up 73% on the week. It pulled back some, but it was up close to 97%, I believe, today at its peak. And you notice it broke out of this downtrend, and so that was a catalyst alongside the news. Look at the volume here, huge volume. PPO basically broke above zero just on one day. And so again, let's take a step back and take a look at how this particular name did from a monthly perspective. I mean, you see this, it went from 25 cents to $10 back in 2010. I'm not going to say that sort of move is going to happen again, but that sort of move is possible. These asymmetric moves in these very, very low liquidity names, if the market wants to buy it, it can rally and rally strong. Momentum is very, very strong here. And I just, this is in my opinion, this is a must own in any commodity portfolio. All right, Ucore Rare Metals, another one that's looking really strong right now after today's move. Moved from 11 cents to 19, close to 73% up on the day. And yeah, it could pull back here at resistance, but if it breaks out, this is going to make a move towards 33 and fast. So that's a quick potential double. I think it goes all the way to 44 before this run is over. So use any opportunities of weakness to add or initiate a position here. Let's take a look at the monthly. And again, explosive move from 2.5 cents to all the way to 128, all the way to $1 in less than a couple of months. So this sort of move is starting to happen again. See the positive divergence that have been building. Now you're just under the 50. Now you close today above the 50 RSI. You've got the descending triangle breakout back test, and I think that this is going to really take off. So beautiful looking chart. I think in the rare earth, the three that really stand out are Ucore, Texas Minerals, and this Nyway that we covered earlier. So that's it. But you know, we may have missed some of this move here. Some of you guys may have missed some of this move, but this is the type of move that I'm looking for in the uranium space. And with the news of the working group, I would not at all be surprised that in any day now, with the Treasury Energy Secretary having been confirmed today, that the move in uranium is going to really be asymmetric, possibly even more than some of these names when they really take off. So keep an eye on that sector. It's coiling. There's some underlying strength right now that I'm seeing that I haven't seen in over 12 months. And yes, some folks say, well, technicals don't matter. Well, they don't until they do. But technicals don't always tell you the future, but they certainly tell you where we are right now. And despite a lot of the weakness over the last 6 months, I'm seeing signs of strength, and that's a positive. These signs of strength need to be built on and follow through. So we'll have to see what happens in the coming days and weeks. But right now, I'm getting increasingly bullish on the rare earth and the uranium and the various rare commodities. And I think you're going to see 5 to 10 to 20 baggers in some of these positions if you're lucky. Anyway, have a great day, and wishing you all the best.